Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Welcome to part 2 of our weekly game plan for December 13th through December 17th. If you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week, called Strap on Your Seatbelts as the Fed Punches the Accelerator, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1 of this weekly trading game plan. We'll put a link in the description box below, and again, we'd highly recommend you listen to that video, as that provides all the input data as to the updates we're going to make to our watch list for this week in part 2. So now let's get started with part 2, and let's talk about the updates to our watch list for this week, again December 13th through the 17th. Okay, I'm on the Stocks tab of the online browser version of Webull. You can get your copy of Webull via our affiliate link included below. Get 2 or more free stocks. I hear they're running a promotion right now where you also get free crypto if you sign up for Webull right now and deposit any amount. They run various promotions from time to time, and you will get the latest promotion, 2 or more free stocks, and whatever their latest promotion is via our affiliate link included below. I've got my watch list that we use selected in the stock screen, and as you can see, you can use multiple watch lists in Webull, and we'll talk about our updates for this week. So the first stock on our watch list is Boyle, which is the long leveraged ETF on natural gas. And we had entered a long position on December 6th and at this bottom, and then we got stopped out of that position on December 7th at 26.42. We got a small profit for a quick scalp. We're going to keep this on the watch list. You can see where we entered on 12.6. We entered at this low. We followed it up, moved our stop up. I'll talk about our strategy for taking profits probably in a more detailed future video, but we moved the stop up as it crossed through this pivot point. When it broke down through that pivot point, it stopped us out, which was okay. It looked like it was breaking down further, and then the next day it gapped up and continued to run above that. We're looking for a retracement somewhere down in this area, this 25.41 area, but any retracement down there and a nice bottom and slight turn up, we will again go long on Boyle, which again is the leveraged ETF on natural gas. So we're just looking for a slight dip, and we'll buy that dip up, because if we back up, we'll see this gap. It had that what I claim is an irrational drop in natural gas, as we expect the demand for natural gas to increase with a colder than average winter coming up. So we can see that nice little dip right there where it hit that support line. So we're looking for it to come back down to that support line and turn back up, and then we would go long Boyle again. We're going to leave DDD, 3D Systems, which is 3D printer. We're going to leave that on the watch list. It kind of ran up a little bit. It looks like it might be coming back down. If it comes back down into this area and forms a nice bottom, we would go long DDD. Again, that's one of the 3D printers. They all are following a similar trajectory. GLDI is the leveraged, or it's the Credit Suisse ETN on gold, pays monthly dividends. We would like to see GLDI come down somewhere in this support area. Again, as you will hear and have heard in the past, our main strategy is to look for these stocks to come down to a support area and then turn up a little bit. So that's the kind of rounding bottom that we're looking for, and that's the point at which we would want to go long, is when it reaches that support level, starts to turn back up, crosses the VWAP. In detail, that's what we're looking for, we're looking for it to form support, turn up, cross the VWAP. That's the point at which we'd go long, We're going to follow it up. We're going to manually move a stop up as it goes through these support lines, and we're going to trail it probably by 1 or 2 support lines with a stop loss, or actually a stop limit, and then take profit when it rolls over. The next one we're going to add, and I'll talk about this a little bit, is grow. And let's talk about grow a little bit, look at what it is and why we're adding it to the watch list. Okay, GROW is U.S. Global Investors, Inc. It's an investment company. It pays a monthly dividend. They just recently, on December 10th, had their ex-dividend date, so they just went through the date at which you had to buy it to get this month's monthly dividend. So they're just going into the next month. So if you bought it next week, the 13th through the 17th, then you would wait approximately 1 month to get the monthly dividend. They invest in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, NFTs, and we're going to add it to our watch list. I'll show you the evidence that they invest in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and NFTs in a second. Because again, this is a lesser known cryptocurrency play. We've owned and profited from GROW in the past, collected dividends from GROW in the past, so we like this as a lesser known cryptocurrency play. We're looking to buy it around 5-ish when it stabilizes that support, and we put it in the comments in last week's game plan on the 8th. You'll see that in our game plan. And again, that's something we would highly recommend, is please watch the comments for this week's game plan as we make updates to the watch list. Our trades, if we get stopped out or when we go long on these, we will add them to the comments of the watch list for this week, and possibly post them in our social media as we are able. So please keep an eye on the comments, keep an eye on our social media so you can get the updates during this week. So let's look at GROW briefly. Again, I'm going to bring it up in FinViz. Just do a quick search on GROW in FinViz. We can see the chart. We can see that this $5 level is a long-term support level. So that's where we're kind of looking for it to come back down to that support level, form a bottom, turn up. You can see their dividend percentage, annual dividend percentage. You can see some of their other metrics, no debt, etc. I'm not going to go into detailed due diligence, but what I do want to do here is do a search for NFT. And we can see recently they did a strategic investment in NFT business. So they're now into NFTs. In the past, when we had invested in them before, we had done so in part because it was a cryptocurrency Bitcoin play. So I will also look up GROW in Seeking Alpha. And then I did a search for crypto, and we can see that U.S. Global Investors is an undiscovered crypto gem. So again, this is an undiscovered, diamond in the rough type hidden gem crypto play. So typically when crypto runs, you hear about the Maras and the riots and some of the other very well-known crypto plays. You don't typically hear about GROW. So it doesn't get hyped as quickly, but as people discover it, it does move with crypto. They also invest in things like gold and silver, etc., and you see that they are investing also in NFTs. So we like this as another way to play cryptos, Bitcoin, etc. Also get paid a monthly dividend, which most of your other crypto plays do not. And again, they also invest in things like gold. So they're kind of covering a number of inflation hedges. So again, that's one of the reasons we like Grow Investors. When we saw it start to come down to this support level, it showed up on one of our screeners, one of our queries, and we said, hey, great, we've made money on them before. Let's see if we can catch them at a support level and go long on Grow. So that's who Global Investors is. Again, it's crypto, Bitcoin, NFT play, also an inflation hedge with gold, etc. Pays a nice monthly dividends, not huge, but it's nice. So we're looking for a nice bottom here, and we would go long on Grow. We're going to put pets back on our watch list. If you remember a while ago, when we bought pets, we went long pets. We sold some covered calls on pets, and then when it rolled over, took our profits. We made a nice profit on pets. We also did a due diligence video in the past on pets, and I'll put the link to that in the description box below. You can see our previous due diligence. That seems to still hold. They pay a quarterly dividend. It is profitable. So again, check out our previous due diligence video on pets. And again, we're looking for it to stabilize, reach a nice stable bottom, turn up. We would go long again pets. Again, it's optionable, so we would sell covered calls probably against our position in pets and hold it, for the dividend. As long as it's increasing, going up. If it rolls over, we'll sell it. So. Also, some of the positions that we got stopped out on last week, and again, we posted these in the comments of last week's game plan, is we got stopped out of our long position in IBM. We entered on November 22nd at 117, got stopped out on 12.9 at 122, made a nice profit. It was a nice swing trade. Congratulations to all our fellow BeachBum traders who also made money. You may have still be in. It did go up, but then it did roll over, and so we got stopped out, took profits. We'll play it again. Right now, it's still up, so we're not going to add it back to the watch list right now. But if it comes back down to that area, we'll take another look at IBM. You can also see our recent due diligence video on IBM as a long-term investment. You can check that out if you're interested. Also, LTC. We had gone long on LTC on 11/26 at 32.01. Got stopped out on 12.9 at 33.34. Made a nice profit. And congratulations again to all our fellow BeachBum traders if you profited from this LTC trade. And again, right now it's still up a bit. It's rolled over. We'll wait for it to come down again before we add it back to our watch list. Also TTT, which is the long on the yields for the 20-plus year Treasury bonds. We got stopped out of that. We talked about that in part one, that the bonds acted a little erratically around the CPI data. We entered on 11/30 at 29.40. We got stopped out on 12/10 at 30.01. Made a nice profit. And also congratulations if you made a profit with us on TTT. We are going to add TTT back to the watch list. We're looking for it to come back down to this area somewhere, near this 27 area. If it comes back down, we will again go long TTT. It would not be surprising for it to act a little erratically around the Fed meeting this Wednesday. So we've got TTT back on the watch list to go long the yields on treasuries if they dip back down, which would be a short on the treasury price. We're going to leave ROKU on the watch list. It had run away, and we strongly considered letting it go. And then tech seemed to take a little bit of a decline later in the week. So we thought, okay, if ROKU comes back down, that would be great. They had really good news. It gapped up. They cut their deal with YouTube. With Google, they resolved their dispute with Google to put YouTube on the Roku channel. It gapped way up. We thought it was going to run away. We were going to let it go. But since it has rolled over, if it comes back down in this area and hits a support, does this nice bottoming action, we would like to go long Roku. We have a due diligence video on Roku that you can also see. I'll put the link to that due diligence video in the description box below. You can review that due diligence on Roku and why we're interested in going long Roku. We're going to leave VMD on the watch list. It's a challenge. It acts pretty erratically. It's kind of a low float, jumps around, etc. We'd kind of like it in this 5 range. It started to run away. Looks like it might come back down. Again, I've debated about taking it off, and every time I just, okay, we'll leave it on. We'll see if it behaves and we get an opportunity, because it did run up nicely, and that would have been a halfway decent profit if we had caught it at that time. And again, VMD is a profitable infrastructure play. We've talked about it the past couple weeks in the watch list, and so you can hear some of that as well. We're going to put Zoom back on the watch list. We've had it on and off the watch list over the past weeks, months, etc. And again, like Roku, it had run away. They had kind of disappointing guidance on earnings, their last earnings, and it had dipped, and then it started to run away a little bit. So again, we can see that Zoom had bottomed, it stabilized finally, and then it kind of ran away, went up to this pivot and bounced down. If it'll come back down here and stabilize again and make sure it doesn't break down further, then we would like to go long Zoom. We like the long-term prospects of Zoom. The sentiment's been pretty negative, and it's dropped with high growth tech. It does have a high multiple. It's considered a kind of expensive growth play. It's also been labeled as a lockdown play, but now with the reoccurring variants, it's oscillated, seesawed with the lockdown reopen plays. But long term, we like the prospects of Zoom, and if we can get a nice bottom here somewhere in this 175 area or at this support level, that would be great. So we'll take a look at Zoom, see how it behaves. If it stabilizes and turns up, that would be great. We'll go long Zoom. So talk just briefly about volatility, how to play the VIX with going long UVXY, shorting SVXY. We do have all of these on a separate watch list where we have all our ETFs that we watch them. So I'm not going to put them in our main watch list. Again, we can watch them via our ETF watch list and via the VIX. As we've mentioned in part 1 and in the previous weeks, we have a standing buy out with extended hours in Webull at 48.54 to short the VIX on a popper spike. So if we get a spike up in the 30s on the VIX, that buy should catch. Again, when the VIX spikes like that, it tends to be pretty quick, so we want to have that buy sitting there to catch that spike in the VIX. If the VIX comes down below 16, particularly prior to the Fed meeting, we would like to go long the VIX into that Fed meeting. So if the VIX does retrace down to 16, right now it's sitting at 1860 something, 1869. So if it does continue to retrace, breaks that 16 level, which is the most recent bottom, and stabilizes, then we're going to go long the VIX using UVXY. Again, I think it's a triple leverage ETF on the VIX, and that would profit based on any volatility going into the Fed meeting. So please, again, keep an eye on the comments to this watch list, to this video. We'll post any updates, daily updates to the watch list, any changes to our positions, if we go long, if we get stopped out, etc. of any of these positions. We'll post that in the comments. We'll also try to post it on as much of our social media as we can, particularly our Twitter, possibly our Facebook group. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, we would encourage that. We can have discussions on any of these stocks, topics, etc. If you'd like us to look at a stock, you can post it in the comments, send it to us via Twitter, post it in the Facebook group, etc. We can take a look at that, and we can have ongoing discussions in our social media and in our Facebook group. So please let us know also if you find this information helpful. If you do, we hope you will smash the like button. Help YouTube share this with your fellow BeachBum traders and fellow traders in YouTube. And if you're not already subscribed to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel, we hope you'll choose to subscribe and share this with your fellow traders. And we wish you good luck and have a great trading week. We hope that you like our weekly game plan for the trading week for this week. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you found this helpful, we hope that you will choose to subscribe to our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. And please click the bell icon below to automatically be notified whenever we publish a new video. Please also share this with your fellow traders and friends via the share button included below. And let us know if you found our weekly game plans helpful in the comments included below. And let us know how we can improve. What would you like to see more, less of, etc. Thank you again for watching. Good luck and have a great trading week. Bye.